Yo, what's good everybody? I'm your boy Jadiro, and today we're going over the pit. This is a new feature and a new endgame grind that they're adding to Diablo 4 in Season 4. I'll also be going over a sick Barbarian build. It's that Whirlwind build that you've been seeing all the time, except I've been seeing everyone doing with a lot of uber uniques and uniques. This time we're doing with no uniques and still effective. Alright, so let's briefly go over what makes this Whirlwind build work for Barbarian. We're going to go the dire Whirlwind aspect. And this aspect increases the critical strike of Whirlwind by 6% and when channeled up to 18%. Now as you go through the game, you'll get better drops on that aspect, so don't worry about the percentages right now. It could always go higher. The next aspect we're going to go here is the Dust Devils aspect. So basically when you're whirlwinding, it leaves these sweet tornadoes that deal additional damage. It's pretty sweet. And the third aspect I want to go over today is the Devilish aspect. And the Devilish aspect reads, after generating 100 Fury, your next direct damage creates 3 Dust Devils that deal 2,116 damage. Again, that number can fluctuate depending on the drop you get, but I think it's a cool aspect to add to the build. And additionally, we're going the aspect of Ancestral Charge. So basically this makes your charge absolutely insane. It basically creates a wall when you do charge. And then we're doing the Edge Masters aspect to give us a 10% damage increase when we're at our full resource, which is Fury. And as for the defensive aspect, the one I recommend you go is get the Juggernaut's aspect. This thing gives you a flat armor increase, and your armor reduces the damage you take. So I always suggest getting that. And then we're also going the aspect of the Grasping Whirlwind. So this is, you don't need this isn't mandatory, but basically when you're whirlwinding, it basically pulls everyone towards you. So it's definitely going to help you clear the packs quicker or faster. I just think it's kind of like a flavorful aspect. It's nothing really important, but I enjoy seeing it on the screen. Alright, so that's basically a quick synopsis of the aspects that you're going to want. As for the gems, don't worry about the gems too much. I'm just basically going rubies to make me a little bit more beefy, to give me some health. And then for the jewelry, I'm just giving myself a little bit of resistance. I haven't been able to play the game long enough to get the trifecta triple resistance boots yet, but I'm working on it. So when I get there, that'll definitely change the build and the gems and how they look. So as for the weapons, guys, I'm actually going to swap into emeralds. Here, as you can see, the sapphires say when you equip them to the weapon, increases your critical strike damage. However, when you actually go over to your weapons, it's only doing increased damage to crowd controlled enemies. So I'm actually going to switch these out for green gems because I do believe it increases the vulnerable damage to enemies with the emeralds. So let's see how that works out. So as you can see, we have the emeralds now in the weapons to give us increased vulnerable damage. But if you look over at the sapphire flawless gems, it says increases the critical strike damage, but when in fact when you have it in your weapons, it only increases the damage to crowd controlled enemies. So that's weird. Definitely a good thing that I caught that now before I went into the pit and thought that was actually happening. Alright guys, as for the skills, we're going Lunging Strike just as our resource regenerator. We typically won't be using it unless it's like single target damage to generate additional Fury. Then we're going Whirlwind, and then we're going the Whirlwind spec that increases its damage by 30%. Then we're going Rallying Cry just for an unstoppable proc really, and increased movement and so on and so forth. And then we're going War Cry. This will give us Berserking. This will help us do more damage, and it will also increase our maximum life for a little bit more beefiness. Again, I haven't got all the way to the end game yet, so defense is huge for me right now. Then we're going Charge, good old Charge, just another unstoppable proc, and it also I don't know, I enjoy Charge a lot, so I like having it for mobility as well. And then we're just going Wrath of the Berserker as our ultimate. Again, more damage, more Wrath, more Berserking. It's fun stuff. So guys, I just want to mention right quick, I will get into a more in-depth guide on this once Season 4 drops. What I love about it too is that we'll be able to figure this out on the Eternal Realm too, not just in the Seasonal Realm. That'll be a whole other ball of wax. But yeah, I'll drop a full guide on this when Season 4 drops. Alright guys, so let's get into some gameplay here. We're going to jump into the pit, and then I'll drop my critiques about the pit after. Alright, so we're going to do Tier 1. Let's see what happens. It's a Greater Rift, guys. If you play Diablo 3, you know how fun the Greater Rifts were. Not a whole lot of maintenance. You don't have to run around and pick up items every so often. It's basically just run. It's Merc Demons. You know, run through it all. Alright, here we go. So, I'll talk you through this. I'm just going to charge in. Put my charges up. Drop my Berserker's Wrath. Start spinning the wind. There we go. Boom. So yeah, these guys are level 100, so they don't have a lot of health, but I just like seeing the build. It's just, I like seeing the build. So it makes me think once we get into Season 4 and we can actually start making builds for this. Like, I can't wait to see what this looks like with Ubers and fine-tuned. I'll definitely be dropping a build on mobile alerts for this. This build looks like a lot of fun if we can really flesh it out. Right now, so far, so good. So you could actually enter the pit and start gathering resources for the masterworking in the game, which is huge. with like a simple build like this. There's no uber uniques on this build. This is all just legendary items. And it's so cool that we have the codex now, so that if we find the aspect that we need, we have it forever, right? Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I'm enjoying this thoroughly. I'm just popping the abilities just to see what they do. That was kind of a waste of the berserking there, but that nonetheless, this is fun. So there you go. So we're moving quite... Oops. Yeah, they need to fix that. Okay, so my first critique, they need to fix that. There needs to be like, are you sure you want to go back or something like that, so that we don't keep accidentally going backwards. But that's okay. That's a small critique. So far, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm also having a lot of nostalgia throwbacks to Diablo 3 for sure. So yeah, definitely something. I'm having a lot of fun doing this right now. I mean, it is BARB after all, right? BARB is probably the beginner level, entry level people. I definitely suggest you go BARB, man. It's really easy to pick up and understand. I wonder what the most played class is in Diablo. It's probably Rogue or Sorcerer or something like that. Actually, guys, question of the video. Let me know down in the comments what class you play. Or what's your favorite class. You know what? Let me know what your favorite class is across all the Diablos. From Diablo all the way to Diablo 4. I guess I should share what mine's Monk. I hope they bring back Monk in the expansion. I really enjoyed playing Monk. I really wish that we had a class like that. That would be dope. Okay, here we go. So this is the boss fight. Pretty simple stuff. So I'm just gonna pop our war cries. Just spin to win. Wow. So let's pop our ultimate there. Oh, I hate that. I don't know if that's a bug or something like that, but sometimes you get stuck after you come out of Whirlwind after it gets cancelled. Like if you get CC. Spin to win. This is so much fun. I know it looks boring. It might look boring, but this is a lot of fun. Spinning to win. I can only imagine with the Ubers and such that we'll be able to increase the damage for sure. I literally just threw this build together. But I'm enjoying it. Okay, let's see what we get here. Easy stuff. Okay, so there you go. We get the resources that we need for masterworking. It drops legendaries. I'm actually kind of... I don't know... If this is the end... Why are we getting yellows in the end game? That's okay. So that's one thing I would suggest. Maybe they should just make... Either increase the amount of... Maybe increase the amount of legendaries we get. I don't know. Unless there's a reason behind why you still get... why you still get these... Unless there's a reason why you still get these yellows. And there's our resources. Cool. Yeah, so that's one thing I would say. I mean, it's a lot of fun. That was pretty quick. It was low level. But this is the only thing I'm curious about. There has to be a reason why we have these still in the game. Like once you've hit the end game, right? Because they don't compare to what you'll be getting. Right? You'll be getting 925s. Unless, if there is no reason, definitely switch this out for something though. I don't know. I would maybe make more legendaries or maybe more mats. Who knows? Anyways, that was a whole lot of fun. Okay, guys. So briefly, my takeaways right now. I like the nostalgia. I like the nostalgia feeling from the pit. That was a lot of fun. It was really quick to do. I could see myself rinsing, repeating that, grinding. If this is an end game grind option that they're adding to the game, it's going to be really fun. It definitely for masterworking too if you're trying to fine-tune your build. The only thing I want to say is the portals. When I click on the portals, I don't like being caught up in those portals being they should just change that. Like they should understand that could happen, right? It's very sensitive. That's one thing. Again, this is the PTR, guys, so this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be critiquing this. So the other thing too, I don't understand the yellows being dropped unless there's a reason. There has to be a reason why they're still getting yellows once you beat a boss at the end, like once you've hit level 100, right? So the only thing I could think is maybe, I don't know if you can access the pit once you hit level 100, or you have to be level 100 to access the pit. The only thing I could think is if you're able to go into the pit before level 100, maybe you can use those yellows. But then again, you only have a certain amount of affixes on the yellows where the legendaries give you an additional affix, right? So you go from 2 to 3. So yeah, I still don't see why that would be relevant then. Unless there's a good reason, like maybe it's the mats you get from the yellows that you need it for. Other than that, I would maybe say drop more mats for the masterworking or more legendaries. Or I think there's temper manuals as well, right? Stygian stone. Anyways, lots to go over here. The pit seems fun. Definitely a sweet throwback to Diablo 4. It is the greater rifts. I enjoy it, man. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. I think that's what we've come to. And I always say this in every video, man. I think this is Diablo 4 going in the right direction. This is one small part of Diablo 4 that we're talking about here too. There's so much more to go over, like the tempering and the masterworking. I want to do a video on the hell tides and the boss ladders, so look out for those. And then after that, I'll do a full review of what I thought of the PTR and what I think needs to change. But considering the pit, so far so good. That was probably the most fun I've had in a long time playing this game. A couple critiques like the yellows dropping. We don't need those at level 100 if that's the idea, and the portal thing really bugs me. Other than that, that was a whole lot of fun. Yeah. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. You don't have to like and subscribe, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video or brought you any kind of value, again, that's all I could ask for, guys. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. I appreciate it. I'm your boy Jadiro, signing out for now. Peace.